Right. Today, we are going to put on our big person undergarments and go do the difficult thing that we have been putting off. And when we are done, we can have a small cry and a nice chocolate to make ourselves feel better. All right? Huzzah!
Hey everyone, sorry that this review is a bit late. I don't know if anyone is watching this, but hey, I'm gonna do what anyway. I was a bit busy this weekend, even though it's spring break and being lazy, but it was my dad's birthday the other day, and he's now 50, so yay, that happened. I posted about it on my Facebook and Instagram, and I have decided to make my Instagram public. So yeah, enough of that, but let's start getting with today's episode of Topical Rouge Percure. And now we get started with the first in the episode. Everyone is asleep until Natsumi is awakened by something that is going on in the kitchen, so she goes to investigate, slowly finding that her mom is washing in the kitchen and making lunchboxes and getting ready for work. Mother's motivation is so happy, and you could see how devoting her mother is really, and I really enjoyed that part of the episode. After the intro, once class was over, it was lunchtime, and so Natsumi gathered up everyone to the rooftop to eat lunch. But oh no, the classic mistake trope. Natsumi's mom accidentally mixed up the lunches, and Natsumi got her mom's lunch, which was a lot of rice. Man, her mom eats a lot of rice with nothing on it. But at least poor Natsume wasn't alone. Her friends came in and shared their lunches with her. Minori made a bowl of some odd ingredients to make it healthy, as she said. And Sango had flowers on hers, and basically it was nothing left on it because she didn't have enough time to make any things. And when Natsumi tried Asuka's food, it was so good. And how was it so good? Let's find out. So how was Asuka's cooking so good? That's what Natsumi asked about. And Asuka explained that her family works as a team. She explains that she lives with her father and brother, and they each split up the housework to do together. I really liked it how they were putting the diversity in this episode, explaining not all families have a mother and father and one or two and a lot of siblings. Some families might have a single mother or a single dad, anything out of the above, and a lot of reasons could stem from this diversity. Anyways, back to the episode. Natsumi had requested that Asuka teach everyone how to make yummy lunchboxes. At first, Asuka had second thoughts, but Natsumi reminded her that the motive of the Topical Club was to do what is more important now, and what was more important now was making lunchboxes. And so, Asuka, as president of the club, said alright, and then they decided to get started. And so, with the villains, let's talk about them real quick. Butler seems to have called on Changi to get some motivation power this time, and so he was set off to do just that. But also, it seems to him that the Witch of the Lays didn't eat the food he had prepared, so while he was getting motivation, maybe he could also work on that as well. More on that later. Now we get set off with the girls making their lunches, and so they decided that they were going to make lunches based off of Kudaroon. And Minori thought they were actually gonna cook Kudaroon, but no, your imagination is getting too high because that was not the case, thank God. And so they were getting ready to start cooking. Laura was questioning everyone on what they were doing, and everyone answered what they were doing as part of the lunch. And here is the funny part when Laura questions Minori, who was trying to crack an egg carefully. They were doing the same thing that they did in the last episode with the zooming in out of each other's faces. Laura got annoyed at how it was taking Minori a long time to crack a goddamn egg. And so she just joined in and failed on cracking the egg as well, but Asuka reassured her to just to keep on trying. And so they continued making their lunches. They had some strawberries out on the table, and Laura asked what they were. And I mean, I guess they don't have strawberries in Grand Ocean or something similar to them. And Laura wanted to have one, but she couldn't because they were for the dessert part of the lunch. And soon after she tried to take a bite, Miss Sakigara jumped it in and they had to hide Laura. Sakigara thought they were cooking a giant fish, seeing Laura's tail flopping around. The girls reassured her that it was nothing and were able to ward off Sakigara, saying everything was under control and not to worry. And Laura was made saying, "You guys were going to try and cook me?" I mean, they were not going to do it, but anyways, it was obvious that they were not, so yeah. But anyways, what I like about this part is that when Asuka and Natsumi were talking to one another, Asuka tells more about her life at home. I wonder if we will see Asuka's brother and dad, and maybe find out why she doesn't have a mother. Like, for me, I thought something bad happened to Natsumi's mom. It's not like I thought her mom was the Witch of the Lays, Okay, maybe I thought that a bit, but anyhow. It's actually got Natsumi thinking about how hard her mother works, waking up early to make lunch and such to give her something to think and do for her mother, which I'll talk about that later. So let's get started to talking to the next part before this gets long. And so the girls finished making the Kururoon lunchboxes, and when they were about to eat it, a yandere attacked it, and that was made of an ice maker. And so, perfect timing, it's time to attack it and stop the yandere from ruining their lunchtime. Well, what can I say? You can't fight on an empty stomach, and as they began to fight, they were in a pickle as they were being hungry in battle. But they were able to comprehend this with an idea from Laura. They tried to freeze the yandere first, which worked as the attack of the yandere was reflected from one of the things it froze early on, and it froze it. Okay, break time! Yeah, now that the yandere is frozen for a bit, we deal with eating some over the lunch to get into action. Like, I mean, I don't hate this part in the episode. I think it was a pretty funny part, and I was surprised Changia wasn't like arguing with them saying, "Hey, you're supposed to be fighting." But anyhow, I guess it wasn't worth this time and all. But they ate some of their lunch and went back to the battle. With their stomachs now a little full, they used the energy to fight the yandere. Flamingo did her finisher and beat up the yandere with swooping Flamingo Smash. And so the girls got to enjoy their lunch. Changin seemed to have gotten an idea from the fight and using it to freeze the food the Witch of the Lays didn't eat. Yeah, great job. And back with the girls, Laura enjoyed the lunch, but for the girls, they were hesitating on eating the lunch Kururoon as the real Kururoon was looking at them. Yeah, you can't eat the sea fairy food next to the actual sea fairy. Maybe you should go ask Smile with the candy platter, right? Glitter care piece. I love trying to make some sounds like I was not trying to say glitter force, but hey, I guess it's really funny to me at least. And so the episode ends with one more scene as Natsumi, from what she learned from today's episode, making dinner for her mother. Her mother was shocked to see this, and Natsumi said that she will help out from now on to avoid any mistakes, and they end the episode off with that. So my final thoughts are great. I like how they were able to get it started with comedy in today's episode. But not all is that. I liked the diversity between the behind the scenes in the episode, explaining about the home life of each girl and their ways of making their lunches for today's episode. Instead, Asuka has only a dad and brother, and we know only Sango has a mom. But we didn't see that much about Minori's family yet. But I got to say how she likes to stay healthy to some captivity. meant to some capacity. So anyways, this is the end. Thank you for watching if you stay tuned, and I'll see you next time in other videos. Goodbye.